Our SummerSlam coverage continues. We're here at Media Day. I think you're a friend of the show. This is our second Media Day. We talked back in LA.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember, and how could you? You talked to 1,000 people since then, but I taught you something. I taught you about drip.
You did.
Do you remember this?
I do remember that.
In drip. There it is. There it is.
I've never used those words in my life.
You've never used
Lit
drip?
and drip now.
Well, do you know what drip is?
Looking fly.
This.
Right? Like
This.
looking. Are
Oh.
you about to compliment me on my drip again?
What?
Is it pretty
There we go. She learned the drip is
learned.
impeccable.
Yes.
I do just a suggestion, maybe just a 101, a big and tall. For, you know what I mean? I would like to rock that too.
Oh, yeah?
Halloween's coming up. You know, we're a couple months away.
Zoey Stark for Halloween?
That sounds like a good idea.
down, yeah.
Well, Zoey Stark, we talked to you. It was before an NXT event.
Yep.
Things done changed.
Big time.
You're on Monday Night Raw. You're in WWE. You got the call up. If you could take us behind the scenes of getting that call and just that hour of chaos of getting the news.
It was a very emotional roller coaster. You know, I've been wrestling for now 11 years. It took me 7 years to get to WWE, and then it took me another 3 because of the ACL and everything else to get called up. So through all of that hardship and all the sacrifices and all of the hard work, when you finally get your name called for your dream to come true, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
No, I can't imagine. It's betting on yourself. As we sit next to Gunther, you, everyone here, we all have a journey, and it's cool to see. And that'll lead me to my next question. Kind of talk me through the difference in a show day in comparison to NXT to being on Raw and some of the differences.
So for NXT, it's the vibe is completely different, and I don't know if it's just because NXT, you do have some newer people, so you have to be very, very hands-on and walk them through every single step, and that might be it. But Raw seems to be a little bit more chill right now, where you kind of go back, you figure out what you're doing, and it seems more relaxed in a weird way. It's a hard thing to explain unless you're actually back there.
How does it also feel like the fancy quarterly reports came out, and the WWE, the attendance is up, viewership, it doesn't matter, Puerto Rico, England, wherever you guys, like, the records are being broke.
We're on fire.
And there's like even the argument about the Attitude Era versus currently, and I don't want to get into that. The one thing I do want to ask you is like the energy at these shows from the fans, because it kind of seems like whether it was Puerto Rico, which I'm a big up because I'm Puerto Riqueño, whatever it is, it kind of felt like Puerto Rico issued a challenge to the rest of the world to be like, nah, if you show up at Monday Night Raw in Kansas or Cincinnati, wherever, like, you need to show out and be loud. Yeah. How does it feel performing in that?
Dude, it's amazing. So the closest, the big pop that I've heard so far was at Money in the Bank when we were in, the UK, when Io went up and grabbed that briefcase. The sound was ridiculous. It was crazy. And I'm just sitting there, and Io and I, we have history. We were tag team champions in NXT. So being able to see my old partner grab up and she being successful, it makes me a little bit emotional. I'm so happy for her, and to hear that for her was crazy. I definitely want to pop like that. So when that happens, y'all better cheer for me just like that.
You damn straight. I couldn't not do this interview and not ask you, of course, you and Trish Stratus, you're living out my boyhood dreams. So I'm extremely jealous of that. But of course, just like the relationship with Trish, how helpful it's been, and maybe like something that people wouldn't expect of her personality or anything like that.
She can be very sarcastic. She
Canadians.
Yeah. She's such a sweetheart, and she throws in these little jokes that might fly over your head, but it's kind of, she could tell if you're listening or not. If you're listening and she says it and you get it, she knows you're listening. If she says it and it goes over your head, she's like, all right, dude, pay attention. So she's very sarcastic and she's sly.
And you got a million other people to talk to, so we're going to close out with this. Your goal leading up to WrestleMania is what in the WWE?
I think a lot of us will say this, but main event WrestleMania. I have big dreams. I'm shooting for the stars.
If you're not aiming for those, then what are you doing here? Zoey Stark, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the time.
Appreciate you.